So the U.S. has stood firm in its allyship with Israel. What do you make of these comments as Blinken meets with leaders in Turkey and in the region?
We have to look at the results so far. And I mean, we have to be honest, and U.S. diplomatic efforts have not really seemed to have affected much of the Israeli positions and the Israeli actions. Of some of the carnage going on in Gaza just kind of reminds me of our operations in the Middle East. And we're, when we have to fight in terms of areas where there's lots of civilians, we have these much more surgical strikes, and they have collateral damage, but they are targeted. These are, you see entire sections of the city being leveled. And I think that the United States has been trying to get Israel to be more targeted and less, using a sledgehammer to get a fly, so to speak. And it doesn't seem that we've had much success. So you can certainly understand some of the positions of the Palestinian people, because they are now dying. Actually, over 10,000 is the number now, in addition to the UN support deaths. So you can understand why they would be feeling that way.
Also, Blinken is continuing to issue warnings, while he's on this trip to Iran, other forces supporting Hamas leaders. Over the weekend, I want to play a little bit of what he said about that.
It was very important to send a very clear message to anyone who might seek to take advantage of the conflict in Gaza to threaten our personnel here or anywhere else in the region. Don't do it. I made very clear that the attacks, the threats coming from militia that are aligned with Iran are totally unacceptable, and we will take every necessary step to protect our people.
So we're, of course, seeing Blinken, seeing the U.S. play this mediator role, but then while also having to make comments like that, trying to defend troops in the region and trying to stop this conflict from getting wider. How is that duality working?
Yeah, look, it is absolutely should be our overriding priority to prevent this war from escalating beyond the Gaza Strip. And that includes Hezbollah in the north, and it definitely includes Iran in the region, because once you have that, then war can take on a nature of its own. The issue is we've sent, of course, 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, now a nuclear-powered submarine, and, of course, lots of new air defense capabilities to try and keep our troops there safe. But we have to also consider, look, those troops are not doing anything but right now putting a big struggle for the United States to defend, because that could be the cause that draws us in if any of those troops are killed. I think we should consider the possibility of withdrawing those troops to more defensible positions out of the region so that we don't have to strike and get sucked into a war.